hello, everybody. Welcome back to Stars Align Universe. Today's podcast episode is going to be a full moon to new moon reading, or in this case, it could be because both have already passed and I'm a little behind that. So it also could be a full moon to the next new moon, or full moon, take it as it resonates with you, or new moon to the next full moon, or new moon, whatever works for you, however it resonates. All right. So with that, I would like to remind you that this video reading is for entertainment purposes only. It may or may not resonate. Take what does and leave the rest behind for another person to claim. With that being said, if you're listening to me on an audio, please consider following the podcast. And if you're seeing me on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do more than just podcast episodes. I also have tarot readings, okay? So with that being said, of course, we're going to cleanse the energy in the space of the tarot cards, and we're going to do an all signs reading. So it's what do we need to know from this full moon to possibly the next new moon of November, okay? Because, obviously the new moon kind of has already happened. So but maybe it will resonate for this month as well. Everybody's on a different kind of timeline as well, just so that we are aware here. Energies can change, right? And people have free will, including you. So with that being said, I'd also like to let you know that if you're on YouTube especially, you can follow the link in my description box for my Ko-Fi channel, and that will give you access to additional YouTube videos, Ko-Fi only type readings, and as well as podcast additional episodes and that. So if that's something you're interested in. So we're going to cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space here. Cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space. Cleanse the cards, the energy, and the space. Spirit guide, guardian angels, ancestors, we ask you to join us today in this reading for all signs for what is the messages from the full moon to the next new moon, or from the new moon to the next full moon, however it will resonate to everybody. And we are going to start with the sign of Aries. Okay, so Aries, what is the messages for you to pay attention to? So Aries, you have the Wheel in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Temperance card. So for you, Aries, I do see a little bit of stagnant energy here, okay? Feeling a little bit stagnant in the energy. And then you also have the Nine of Pentacles. So I do see many of you working on yourself, okay? As well as the Temperance, I do see it is for you to have patience and to allow everything kind of to fall into place as it needs to. All right. So what do we have for I heard Leo. I guess we're doing this different today. What do we have for Leo today? What do we have for Leo for this information for the full moon to the next new moon, or the new moon to the next full moon, whatever works. All right. Leo, you have the Five of Swords, the Hermit, and the Queen of Wands. So Lilo, I have a cat named Lilo, but that's besides the point, okay? Leo, not Lilo. Five of Swords, the Hermit, and the Queen of Wands. So this is saying that there might be some people that are kind of in your ear about stuff in life, and it is time for you to pay attention, okay? The Hermit in reverse is to say have some introspection and really look within to see what it is that you really want in life. And the Queen of Wands, I do see really standing in that vibrant power and kind of like acceptance. All right. Not everybody's going to like you, and that's kind of okay, is what I'm kind of seeing here for you, Leo. Okay. So what do we have next here? We have the Sagittarius. So we're going to go with Sagittarius next. So Sagittarius, what is for the next full moon, or this full moon, sorry, to the next new moon, or this new moon to the next full moon? What is the messages for our Sagittarius friends here? What is the messages for our Sagittarius friends? Okay. We have the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Hierophant. So Sagittarius, what you have here is I do see many of you standing in stability, or getting to work, okay, is what I'm seeing with a little bit of communication with that Ace of Swords. However, with the Hierophant, I also see this as possible as a higher level of commitment for some of you, okay? Um, I do see stable connection as well and communication just a little bit about seeing where this is going to go. Okay. If that's something that resonates, some of you also may be connecting with self more to see kind of focusing in on your spiritual aspects of yourself, right? What you believe in, what you're interested in. All right. So next we have the Tauruses. So, Taurus, what is the message for you for the next full moon to this full moon to the next new moon, or this new moon to the next full moon? All right. What do we have for you? Whatever resonates. All right. You have the Nine of Pentacles, the Wheel in reverse, and the Five of Cups in reverse. So, for you, Taurus, I am seeing that some of you are going to be working on some kind of own stability, finances, work, career, something like that. The Wheel in reverse is showing a little bit of stagnancy energy. So you may not be exactly where you want to be. And the Five of Cups is a little bit reluctancy. Some of you may be getting a little bit emotional about something and you just don't want to let it go. Okay. And I am seeing that may cause even more stagnant kind of energy on your own personal growth and stability. Not just like, I'm not saying like, oh, it will affect your work. Well, it might. Some of you, it might. But some of you, I see it like stability wise for you, stable as a person, not necessarily like finances, but like how you're feeling as a person, your being, right? So, what do we have for our Virgo friends? Okay, so Virgo, what is the message for Virgo for the next full moon to new moon, or new moon to full moon, please? What are the messages for our lovely Virgo friends, please? What is the messages for Virgo, please? Okay, Virgo, you have the Two of Swords, the Ten of Wands in reverse, and then the Ten of Swords. Okay, so for some of you, I do see a little bit of conflict here. Definitely an escalating conflict for some of you. With the Ten of Swords, I do see you currently like standing in your kind of power, trying to hold it together. You're not leaving. I see a little bit of a heated argument, and it's like somebody's holding a grudge and they just won't let it go. And then the Ten of Swords is eventually just having to walk away from it. Okay. So you go from a little bit of an argument to standing in your power, you know, trying to work through it. And then the Ten of Swords, I do see some of you walking away, or mentally you're just letting it go. You might not be leaving a connection, but mentally you might be letting it go, letting it flow, letting it sow, letting it know. You know what I mean? All right. Next, we have Capricorn. So, what do we have for Capricorn today? What is it for Capricorn today? What do we have for Capricorn for the today for the next, this full moon to the next new moon, or this new moon to the next full moon, or any of the moons in between? All right. However it resonates. So, Capricorn, we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. We have the Two of Pentacles, and then we have the King of Cups in reverse. So, what I see here for you, Capricorn, is a little bit of a self-love kind of focus is what I'm getting here, working on emotions. Two of Pentacles, as I see some of you really working on that balance. And then the King of Cups is a little bit of an emotional break for you. I don't know if it's somebody around you or if it's you yourself having a breakdown. And if you are, I am being guided to show you to pause and have a moment to yourself and kind of relax and take a step back to really see the bigger picture and of things around you, of things. Okay. So next we have the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So Geminis, what is it for Geminis for the next, this full moon to the next new moon, or this new moon to the next full moon, or anywhere in between with all those moons? All right. So we have the Five of Swords in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, and the Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, Geminis. So what I'm seeing here is a little bit of lack of building in the passion zone. So there may be some kind of like creative project you want to work on, but you may have to stall it a little bit. I do see a little bit of lack of love here with the Lovers in reverse, but I see some of you, maybe you have to stall something that you love doing because with the Page of Cups in reverse, there's something else I see that you need to focus on. So some of you may be focusing on more about other types of stability than your creative project that you want to do, because maybe you're not making income or anything off of it. However, you are by some other type of career thing you're doing, right? So I do see this kind of as an acknowledgement that it's okay to take a step back, and you don't necessarily need to like be upset. Um, Obviously work on what you can, but don't be too hard on yourself, Gemini. Okay, that's really important for you to understand, so you don't have like an emotional breakdown on yourself or beat yourself up too much, right? Only do what you can do in the time being. All right. So what do we have for our Libra friends for this full moon to the next new moon, or this new moon to the next full moon, or any of the moons, any way they connect? Okay. That's kind of funny. Libra, you have the Page of Cups, the Lovers, and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So, Libras, what I'm seeing for here is a little bit of emotional, some kind of emotional connection with somebody. With the Lovers, I do see it as a very like soulmate type energy. You also could have Gemini in your placement, or you are connecting with a Gemini. However, with the Queen of Pentacles, I also see a little bit instability on your side. You're not quite feeling as your highest good instability. So even if you're in some kind of connection that it may be like this great loving connection, you yourself are unstable. You are not really being grounded in the moment. A little bit unhinged is something I'm kind of seeing for you. And I kind of see you being a little bit selfish in the moment. And that's not to be like me. Like, obviously, there's times when you need to have self care, but I see you kind of being a little bit like selfish and a little bit, not like a little bit overbearing is what I'm hearing. Okay. So if that makes sense to you, if not, obviously throw it away. Next, we have Aquarius. So what does Aquarius have here? Aquarius for this full moon to the next full moon, or this new moon to the next new moon, or this full moon to the next new moon, or this new moon to the next full moon, something like that. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. Okay, Aquarius, you have the Nine of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and the Moon card in reverse. So Aquarius, I do like this for you a little bit here, and I'll explain why. So Aquarius, you have the Nine of Swords. So there may be people around you that are very much like my way the highway, or they're very like negative inducing. You are protected from that, just so you know. Like, you I heard the power of discernment. And then the Six of Pentacles is kind of like balancing everything out for you, or you're just learning how to balance everything, or you're working on balancing. Okay. With the moon in reverse, I do see you seeing things a lot clearer than you were, and you're understanding stuff more. Whether it's regarded to the way people talk to you, your connections, financial stability, even your own self as a person, I do see you opening up and finding more things out about yourself or people around you. Okay. Lastly, we have the water signs. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So starting with Cancer, right? Cancer, what do we have for Cancer for the next full moon to the new moon? This full moon to the new moon, or next new moon, or whatever. And then the next new moon to the next full moon, or whatever in between, however the moons connect for you. Okay, Cancer, you have the King of Cups in reverse, the Two of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups in reverse. So this is kind of interesting. With the King of Cups in reverse, I do see you being a little bit emotional right now, Cancer. I'm trying to find balance, honestly, is what I'm seeing with that Two of Pentacles. And then the Ten of Cups in reverse, I do see this as more of a working on your own emotional health. Okay. Some of you, it's going to be very important for you to find balance between what you can do and what you need to take a break from. And it's going to be important to communicate that with other people around you and feel supported in your stability during this time while you're trying to get your mind right. Okay. Mind, body, heart, soul, spirit. I see many of you understanding that you need to work on that, and this is the time. And I think that's very beautiful of you, Cancer. Okay. What do we have next for the Scorpios? Okay. Scorpios, the this full moon to the next new moon. this new moon to the next full moon, or new moon, full moon, whatever resonates there. Okay, Scorpio. So you have the Eight of Swords in reverse, the Two of Cups in reverse, and the Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, so Scorpio, you are no longer feeling tied down right now. Many of you are understanding that you are the only person stopping yourself from creating the greater good. You're also the only person that can decide what you want in connections. With the Two of Cups in reverse, I do see some of you either are walking away from a connection or you have a conflict in a connection. Okay. Interesting. I'm being kind of shown this, and I never really noticed this with these cards, but when they're in reverse, doesn't it look like it's like a rainstorm falling onto these hands instead of like when they leave the water, the cups, like the marriage kind of concept for some of these. So there, if you're on audio, there's two hands, and when they leave the cups, there's like a rainbow of water from each of the fingertips. However, when it's in reversed, it looks like it's kind of like raining down, almost kind of like jellyfish, but also like kind of like rainbow rainstorm kind of happening. So I kind of see that very interesting. So if you are in a connection, I do see a little bit of storm on your way. And I do see, though, with the Seven of Swords, you definitely confronting that storm together, or especially you are making sure to confront the storm. Okay. Some of you, it may have been your own mental gymnastics causing cause and effect, or your other person's, right? Because energy can be flipped around, causing a little bit of cause and effect in this, which may cause a little bit of issues in the connection. Okay. Next we have the Pisces. So what do Pisces have here? What do Pisces have for this full moon to the next full moon, or new moon to the next new moon, or full moon to the next new moon, or this new moon to the next new moon, something like that, anyways, if you get what I'm saying. All right, anyways, so what do we have here for Pisces? You have the King of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Hermit. So Pisces, you have a very emotional stability kind of stance right now. You're feeling really good at yourself. With the Nine of Wands, I see a lot of independence and that spark and passion to really gain your independence. Okay, and finding that kind of independence. I see a bright light around you, and many of you are kind of overcoming challenges that you may have had before. Okay, with the Hermit, I do see you looking within and hiding out and doing what you need to do so you can recharge, so you can keep this going, is kind of what I'm seeing for you. Okay, so finally, let's find out what the collective energy is for this full moon to the next new moon, this new moon to the next full moon, and vice versa, etc., etc., etc. Full moon to full moon, new moon to new moon, if you get what I'm saying. All right. What is the collective energy here? What is we need to know? What do we need to see? What do we need to hear? What is our collective energy? All right. So we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Wands in reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles. So as a collective, many of us may feel unstable right now, right? Times are not really known with economy and that. So that's kind of what's showing up for me. It was like a big E I'm seeing for like economy. And then like I'm seeing like buildings and flowers and rain and all sorts of stuff. So many of us may feel unstable. With the King of Wands in reverse, I do see us some of us are kind of, okay, I love my passion projects, but I'm not making what I want to make. So I may have to focus a little bit elsewhere. I can still do my projects, but not be as hyper fixated as I was, because I do need to do this stuff. I will still work on this, but unfortunately, I cannot. I need money is kind of what I'm getting from this for some reason. And with the Nine of Pentacles, that is definitely showing here that a lot of us from here will be working on finding ways to make money. Everybody's got a passion project, a side hustle, whatever, something. Everybody's got something. Some people create content. Some people just create art. Some people have a little bit like a side business in tech or whatever, administrative, whatever floats your boat. Okay. Some people have that, and some people might be in school or something for even like something as simple as soap making. And that, well, soap making is really not that simple, but it's as basic kind of as that, right? Like something very easy that you would think of as easy, right? But unfortunately, the reality is this may not be making me the income that I need. So I can still do this, but I'll have to do this on my time off from other types of work. Some of you may be independent contractors and you may be trying to like find other ways to make money. Okay. If that resonated with you. If it didn't, throw it away. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you as always. Please consider subscribing, leaving a comment, sharing the video. And once again, I will see you guys again on the Stars Align Universe podcast. And thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you again very, 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 very soon. Goodbye.